Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, there has been a problem with the dollar reserves in this country. And it reached a time when Ruto came to power. He made a decision that to solve the issue of dollar reserves, he has to go into a government-to-government oil importation so that Kenyan shilling can be strengthened. He came out openly to defend it. I don't know, in their wisdom or lack of it, they did away with the open tender system. So the Saudi Arabia company with the Kenyan government, they have been in business for a long time. And the promise was that the Kenyan shilling is going to gain value. By that time, it was at 125 shillings. That was somewhere in March 2023. 125 Kenyan shillings against the dollar. Ruto promised in a couple of months or days, the shilling is going to trade at 120 and below, even up to 115. Right now, we are talking about 161 against the dollar. And Raila came out to question on these issues. The question was that, how do you import oil and you set the price per liter at 217 when the actual price is 187 shillings? The question was, where is the 30 shillings going to? Who is the beneficiary of this 30 shillings? But Ruto insisted that this program is working.
In fact, in the next 1 month or so, you will see dollars coming down, the exchange rate coming down in a very phenomenal way. In fact, in my estimation, in the next couple of months, the dollars will come, the exchange rate will come below 120 shillings. Maybe 115, you never know.
So those who have been holding dollars everywhere, hoping that it will continue going up, it will go down, starting today, tomorrow, the day after. So you have a few dollars that you are still holding, please let them go to the market. And he'll come to thank me for it after a week or two.
Now, David Ndii, who has been leading the economic advisor team to William Ruto, really defended this move, and this is what he was saying at one point. The G2G is working like a charm. In fact, we are improving on it all the time. Contrary to many distortions I see here, it is not a public procurement. It is a framework agreement that facilitates extended credit terms between the state-owned IOC and our industrial players. You know, this was the Ledema Olekina who was trying to challenge him. And this is what Ledema Olekina was saying. Yesterday, yesterday I asked you what G2G mean. Today, my question to you is, do you have enough fuel to last you a week? Next week, things might be tough if you don't fuel your car tomorrow. That discussion has been there. Now, with all this, finally, the Treasury has woke up from the slumber and is forcing Ruto to stop listening to David Ndii and the team. They are saying that the G2G deal has flopped. Instead of the shilling gaining value, it has been depreciating every day. They did away with the open tender system, and G2G was to serve their intention of strengthening the shilling. But instead, the shilling has been losing value. So the only thing to do is to cut off the deal and go back to the open tender system. That's why Kenyans were referring to this government-to-government agreement as gangster-to-gangster oil deal. Indeed, it was a gangster-to-gangster because the question that Raila was raising is still valid. Where was the 30 shillings going to? In whose pocket? What they fail to understand is that when you increase the price for fuel, of course, the impact is that the purchasing power will go down because people will not buy in bulk. So when the purchasing power goes down, what next? You don't maximize the profit, or you don't get more revenue out of that. But few individuals have been benefiting at expense of deteriorating the shilling. So before they close this deal, they should come out and tell us who was benefiting from the 30 shillings. Where was the 30 shillings going to before they close this? Because now it's like they were focused on collecting some cash. Then after that they close the tender. Sasa kuna watu walikuwa wanakula pesa hapa. Imefika mahali sasa wameona hasara imeingia kubwa, shilingi inapoteza nguvu zake. Now they are back to the normalcy. Was it intentional? And seemingly it can be yes. It might have been intentional. But now they are ashamed that the shilling is losing value. The purchasing power has gone low. So the threat that Ruto was issuing under Gachagua, that in a couple of days, those who are holding to the dollar, release or else you will suffer the loss. We saw Ruto intimidating investors. The way they were handled, people hold to their money in dollars. Maybe they knew what was going to happen. And indeed, it has been revealed. The shilling has been losing value. Sasa wakati wa kiburi umefika kwa kiwango ya kwamba kiburi lazima iwekwe kando, ukweli useme. Sasa kiburi imewekwa kando. G2G was poisonous, whereby now you become the only supplier, so everyone has to buy from you. You maximize the profit. Now it's no longer selling. Watu waliamua njia zingine za kusurvive. When things goes high, there was carpooling. Unaweka tu mafuta kwa gari moja mnatumia, zingine zinabaki. People resort to walking. Raila aliambia watu mtembee, mfanye mazoezi. So in some instances people just walk. In that way, the purchasing power goes down because the demand is low due to high prices. So with all this has backfired on Ruto, Gachagua, David Ndii. And Ruto mentioned David Ndii and the team at one point. It means David Ndii's team failed to advise Ruto, or they gave wrong advice to William Samoei Ruto. This team must just be fired. So the treasury has to come out and speak loudly to Ruto. They're telling Ruto, stop listening to David Ndii and the team. The facts are out. Exchange rate has exposed them. Now 162, we are heading to 200, someone predicted. But when they took over power, it was somewhere 125. So we are seeing a shilling falling by 30%, all-time low. It has never been like this. But by 30%, imeanguka. Where are we heading to? So, as they revert back to open tender system, they should tell us who was eating the 30 shillings in every liter of oil they were importing. Alikuwa nani? Hilo ndo swali nafaa wajibu wa Kenya. Na ukweli imeonyesha kwamba this government has no any plan to solve our problem. The only plan they have is to destroy the economy.